Pranam to all the dear beloved sadhaks on this Sunday morning.
Ji Swati.
The first question is from Shashi Shekhar ji. He's asking Sada Charan Sparsh Gurudev, why have we taken birth this time? What is our purpose in life? How can we know about it?
Profound. Why have we taken birth? Once a very similar question was asked to Bhagwan Ramana Maharishi. In fact, my book Let the Mud Settle starts from this very note. That why do we take rebirth? Why have we come on earth this time? So Ramana Maharishi said, desire. Desire is the root cause of you coming back on this earth again and again. So now Ramana Maharishi always will speak just in one line and the answer is over. But I think that might not work for you. So I'll have to elaborate on this. Let's understand the principle of karma, Shashi. It's very important. There are three categories of karmas that we form. Some of you have heard about this. One is called prarabdha karma. The karmas of the past that you performed, which have activated now. So you are living the results of those karma right now. So prarabdha karma. The second is called sanchit karma. So that's the total karmas that you have done in the past. So let's say 100 is your sanchit karma, total of the past lives of this life, but past from this moment. And out of the sanchit, which is 100, let's say in total, prarabdha, which is let's say 5 have started activating right now in your life. Yeah. So prarabdha is from the pool of sanchit karma. And then there is third category of karma, we call them agami karma. Or we can call them kriyamana karma. It's one and the same thing. This is the set of karmas that you're going to form as you live your life now. Yeah. So 3 sets of karma. Sanchit, total, prarabdha, which has started getting activated, and agami, which you are and which you will form as you go through the process of life. So 3 categories of karma. The cosmic law says that you will keep coming back unless this whole karmic cycle, this whole karmic debt is over. You'll keep coming back to it. That's what the cosmic cycle says. And why did you create these 3 categories of karma, or you are creating these karmas? Because, as Ramana Maharishi said, at the root of it is the desires. Because there are desires in the heart, we continue to form karmas. Right? Understand it very carefully. Because there are unfulfilled desires in the heart, we continue to form new karmas and we continue to reap the results of the previous karmas. Yeah. Now, what does happen? Why? So one part is, this is the reason you've come on this earth in this birth, because of the sanchit karmas that you had, and you have to fulfill that. And you had sanchit karmas because you had desires at the root of it. Desires are creating karmas. Now, unless this whole repository is over, you'll keep coming back. Yeah. Now, how will this cycle end? That's the key question here. So the scripture says, and I also experienced this in my anubhava, in my life, and scripture also say this, that the prarabdha karma, out of the total repository, those karma that have started getting activated, you have to live through that. Okay? You certainly have to live through that. But the repository, the existing karma, the whole sanchit, the balance of the sanchit karma, Once you start to work on your desires, which means start to live desireless, as they say, which is you take life as it is. Whatever comes to you unsought, you enjoy that. Whatever goes from you unasked, you let it go. So there is no I will that you start to put in the process, that I want this or I don't want this. All the wants and don't wants, you become prathak from there, which means you create a distance. While the process of life is going on, you're sitting at the back, watching this process of life going on. And in every situation, as per the demand of the situation, you do what is required from you, not because what is desired from you. You understand what I'm saying? You do what is required from you in every situation, but you don't act based on your desire, because the desires are dissolving. Now, every action that you perform, keeping your desires aside, that you are not acting based on desire, you're only acting based on the situation. Once you enter into that space of desirelessness, even the sanchit karma, that whole repository, starts to burn itself away. You don't have to go through the entire karmic cycle now. Yes, out of the 100 sanchit, they'll all burn, dissolve themselves away. And because you are now operating from the state of desirelessness, you are totally in your dharma. Whatever the situation demands, you do that. You're not operating from the sense of I am the doer. The ego sense is dissolving or has dissolved. Because you are in that state, now whatever you do as action will not form agami karma. So two things are happening simultaneously. The past repository of all the karmic baggage is getting burnt away automatically, and your actions are not forming new karmas anymore. You're getting out of this loop. However, the third category of karma, which we call the prarabdha, which are like the seeds which have started sprouting. Now, the result of those sprouting seeds you will have to enjoy. Positive or negative, whatever the seeds. It could be bitter sweets or it could be sweet seeds. But those you can't run away from, because the seeds have started germinating. Those you have to live. Yeah, so summarize, understand this. So the current life, why have we got into this incarnation? For two key things, my friend. For two key things. If you're totally engrossed in the world, attached with the world, operating from the bhav of ego, which is I am the doer, which most of humanity is doing, that this is my body, this is my mind, these are my relations, this is my house, I am doing all of this, the ways of the world. If you are operating from that bhav, then you've taken birth to go through the endless cycles of these karmas. You'll continue to form new karmas, you'll continue to live the result of the past karmas, and this cycle will never end. Based on the structure or the qualities of your karma, either you'll enjoy hell in your life or you'll enjoy heaven in your life. Hell and heaven are not some other planets. In this very life, you will enjoy either the heavenly attitude or hellish attitude. In this very life, you will enjoy that based on the karmas. Alright? That's the reason we are born here. Based on our desires, because of our desires. Now, if you are on the spiritual process, which I know you are, then what we are doing here, we are transcending this never-ending loop of hell and heaven, never-ending loop of creating karmas and reaping karmas, creating karmas and reaping karmas. We are transcending, we are ejecting from this loop, this circular loop. We are transcending that. We are on the path of moksha, liberation. We want to get liberated from this whole doing and reaping process. You follow? And how do you do that? So there are two reasons for your birth. One, to reap the benefit of your old karmas. And two, the second reason you've taken birth. To me, the second reason is the most important reason we've all taken birth, is to eject this, is to be able to exit this never-ending loop. That's the second reason. And then second reason is what we call the spiritual sadhana, entering into the spiritual sadhana. That's the second process, second most important, because this will end this slavery of the desire, slavery of the karmas. Sadhana will end that. And how do you do that? Number one, or I think the only formula, no, two formula, let me tell you. One, watch your desires. Be very aware of the desire, the wave of desire arising in you. It could be a small desire of drinking a cup of coffee. It could be a large desire buying a new car. It could be a large desire to have another partner, whatever that is. Watch this wave of the new desire arising in you every moment. The moment you start to watch it, you start to watch this wave of desire, something magical will start to happen. This desire, which was so far overpowering you, will start to lose its hold on you. Just by your awarefully watching this wave of desire arising, just by the process of watching this will loosen the grip of that wave of desire. I'm not saying that wave will delete itself completely, will dissolve completely. No, it will take time. The more you watch this wave arising in the moment, the more desire will lose its hold on you. That's the process. You keep just watching that. Again, please understand what I'm saying. You don't curb your desires, you don't kill your desires. You first process, you please watch them. As you will start to watch, you know what happens by watching? I said the desires will start to lose grip on you. But how internal mechanics are happening? The moment you start to watch the arising of the wave of desire, suddenly the understanding of the deeper dharma will awaken in you. What is deeper dharma? Is, should I entertain this desire or should I let this go? This power of Viveka Shakti, which we call in English discrimination. It's a positive Vedantic discrimination. This discrimination, this Viveka Shakti, this higher intelligence will start to awaken in you. Now, of all the waves of desires arising, you will only entertain a few of them. I'm not saying day one you will become desireless. You will very intelligently entertain only a few desires based on your deeper inner nature called dharma. So 90% of desires are already gone if you initiate this process. Now the other 10% of the desires which based on your dharma you're still fulfilling. Now the second process is that you enter into the desire, you fulfill the desire, but again keep yourself aside. It's not my body and mind which is entering into the process of enjoying the desire. Who am I currently? Is the one who's watching the body entertain the desire. I am watching the mind entertain that desire. I am not the doer or the enjoyer of the desire. I am the watcher. Now that's the second deeper process that starts to get activated. So you might be drinking this cup of coffee. taking a sip of this. Enjoying every taste of it. While you're enjoying the taste of this coffee, you know you're sitting at the back and watching the body mind enjoying the taste of the coffee. You follow? In the same moment you're enjoying the coffee, and in the same moment you're watching yourself enjoying the coffee. It's like, sometime, though this is not a coffee, this is warm water, and I'm not against coffee. It's like sometime you might have observed, in the night you've slept and you are seeing a dream, but something in you awakes and you see yourself seeing the dream, right? It is happening simultaneously. You are enjoying the dream. At the same time, you're watching yourself seeing the dream. It happens, it's a parallel processing. Now that is what we start to do in the sadhana. We enjoy the sip of coffee and we are watching ourselves enjoying this sip of coffee. Brilliant. As this starts to happen, the bhav of doership, the bhav of I am enjoying this, starts to dissolve. And if you follow these two processes simultaneously, two things happen. One, the sanchit karmas starts to burn away. Two, the agami karmas of your current actions do not form. You do the action, but the karmic impression is not formed of that. That's how Buddhas operate in their life. If you see, Buddha did enormous amount of work. And so is Nanak, so is Krishna, so is everybody, all the great beings, Ramana Maharishi, Ramakrishna Paramahansa. But they did not get into the loop of hell and heaven. If they did great karmas, they should be enjoying the heavens. Right? No. They transcended heaven and hell. They entered into moksha because the impression of the karmas were not forming of them. Because the bhav of I am performing this karma was not there. So while Buddha was speaking to hundreds and thousands of people, continuously walking from one village to another village, awakening or moving the cycle of dharma, as they call it, the wheel of dharma, as they call it. While he was doing such enormous amount of work, karmas, but there were no impression of the karmas getting formed on Buddha because he had entered into the space of I am not the doer. In this situation, this is required out of me. There is no will in me which says I must do this. There is no will. Either the situation is guiding your karma or you become slave of the Shiva. And you do everything based on the command of your guru, your ishta. There is no self-will. So how I operate my life, there is no self-will. If you have to create a large ashram, there is no self-will. It's the command of Shiva. Day to day, when I work, if there is some action has to be performed, I'm in the space that, okay, in this situation, this is needed. If you just follow these two, the loop is over. It is actually as simple as I'm making it, not complex. Provided you start to practice this. So first you understand this deeply and then you start to practice this. Yeah. Hope that helps. Swami Samarpit. Hope that helps. Thank you.
Please, Swati.
Ji Gurudev. Our next question is by Dr. Bharat Sangtani. He's asking, Pranam, my question is regarding the Deeksha ceremony on Mahashivratri. My heart says I have spiritually evolved over the years and should go for the procedure. My mind says let Guruji decide if I'm fit for it now or later. Guruji must be expecting certain qualities in a sadhak before giving Deeksha. Is my mind playing games and preventing itself from surrendering? Please show the way.
You see, every organ in your body has a certain action, certain role to perform. So hands have the role of making these gestures that I'm making, writing, driving, and all of. Every organ of the body has a certain role. So mind too has a certain role. And mind is not the seat of intelligence, my friend. Your seat of intelligence in your system is the spiritual heart. That's the seat of intelligence. So what's the role of the mind? We're talking about mind and not brain. Understand this. The role of the mind is, as you said rightly, is to play games, tantrums, ulajhav, to distract you, to play games with you, to bring doubts in your decisions, to give you superior spiritual concepts and create excuses, to tell you that you are not responsible, let the Guru decide. That's the role of the mind, my friend. Be very aware. As far as Deeksha and sadhana is concerned, what is the role of the Shishya or the seeker or the Sadhak? The role of the Shishya, seeker or Sadhak is to reach a point where you know in your heart that this is the only thing in life that I want. I talked about desire earlier. When your desire becomes single focused, one pointed, when you say this is the only desire I have and this is the only desire I'm going to entertain. Am I ready? Am I not ready? I don't know. You cannot know for sure ever that are you ready for Deeksha. You cannot know for sure. But what you can know for sure is, this is the purpose of my existence. I have realized now that I am born to achieve this mukti, this moksha. Nothing else interests me in my life. I've seen everything. Hollow promises by this life. End of the day, you don't achieve anything. You walk, you run so much, but you don't end up reaching anywhere. Loops and loops and loops of this mind. I've realized this. Now I know the path for me, and the path is sadhana. The path is bhakti, the path is dhyana. I just want to walk the path of satya, truth. Once this resolve becomes absolutely clear in you, not to say that you will not do other responsibilities of life, you will. You will fulfill all other responsibilities of life. But inwardly, this becomes the single pointed focus. Yes, this and this alone is the inner focus of my life. This truth, this love, this peace, this ananda, joyfulness is what all I seek in life. This Guru, this Ishta, this Shiva is the only reason of my existence. Once you know in your heart that you've reached this point, that's it. That's all the karma, action, effort that you need to do to reach to this point. And not allow minds to play tricks anymore. Once you are there, you're ready for Deeksha. Yeah. Now you cannot be very sure that, am I spiritually, what is the word you used? Mature enough. What is spiritual maturity? It's only the resolve that is important. Because when we talk about spiritual maturity, there are different concepts we have in mind. Forget all of that. All you need is the resolve, pratigya, that this path I want to walk, period. This path is the only path I want to walk, period. Yeah. So, Don't allow your mind to play tricks saying that, oh, whenever, the Guru sees I am ready, the Guru will ask me. No, 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 no. In many cases, in our tradition, even when the Guru sees the disciple ready, Guru will still not approach. And that's the principle I also follow. Even if I will see you are absolutely ready, I will not approach. The Guru will not approach because the Guru wants you to be so firm in your resolve that you announce to the world that I am ready now. That announcement must come from the Shishya's side. Because that's a big announcement you must make in your own heart. If Guru sees and Guru says, no, now you're ready, come, without your announcement, it could be an interference. No Guru will ever interfere in your life. Guru's role is not to interfere in your life. Guru's role is to bring inspiration in your life, to bring this light and this guidance in your life, to tell you, hold your hand and to tell you and to make you believe that this is a very simple process. It's not difficult. Please walk. And there, every step you take, the Ananda is awaiting you. And you don't need to believe in the words of the Guru. You must believe in only your own anubhava, your own experience. Guru will say, just walk with me. And every corner you will meet the awaiting Ananda, the joy that is existentially waiting for you. Anubhav. It's very experiential. But then Guru, as I said, will not interfere or impose anything on you. Yeah. So the announcement and the pratigya, the resolve of Deeksha, must come from you. Don't leave it on the Guru. That madness, awaken that burning desire, that burning madness in you of truth and truth alone. Why do we do these satsangs? Why do we share the stories of the Buddhas and Nanaks and the Krishnas and Ramakrishnas and Ramana Maharishis of the world? Why? What is the need? And why do we do it over and over again? This morning Swati said that this is the 28th or 29th satsang we are having. Why so many satsangs are needed? Why 30 hours of speaking is needed? You know why? Only one reason. I'm here not to answer your questions actually. I'm here to remind you of the Ananda that awaits. I'm here to tell you it's a very simple process. I'm here to knock on your door every week when we meet. That knock, knock. Enough of sleep, enough of slumber. Wake up now. This is the purpose of your life. This is why you've taken this incarnation. So the fire in your heart which is dwindling, every satsang, every story, everything that I share with you, every anubhav that I share with you, I'm pouring some fuel, some oil in that dwindling fire so that it rages. It rages and it burns everything that is the mental creation of your existence. Everything that is superficial in your existence. Everything that is not satya in your existence. It must burn. Your own inner fire must burn all of that. That's the role I'm performing. That's the reason. We're meeting every other week. So that this fire gets transferred in you somehow. And if you listen to these words really, if you allow your heart to listen to these words, not just your ears and your mind, if you allow these words to enter into your heart, then this fire will also transfer from this heart to that heart. That's the effort we are making every other week. That's the resolve that I have, that this fire must get transferred there also. So Guru will never come and say, okay boy, now you're ready. No. Resolve, announcement, declaration must come from your side. And don't allow the play of mind. These are the matters of the heart. These are not the matters of the mind. It's like deep love affair. Love affair, you don't think from the mind. Love affair, you only act based on your heart. If your love affair is of the lower order, then you don't even operate from the heart, then you operate from your instinct. Then the love becomes lustful. If you operate from your mind, then your love becomes calculated, a transaction. But if you really experience love from the deep core of your heart, then you don't need to ask anybody. You don't need to take advice from anybody. If this person is right for me or no, your heart becomes the guiding mechanics. Your heart becomes the GPS in that. You don't go out and ask people, should I love this person? No. Your heart continues to guide you. Continues to guide you. That's the reason in the initial stage I said, your heart is the seat of intelligence, not your mind. Your heart is the true seat of intelligence. Right? So 3 layers I talked about. Yeah? The instinctive love, the calculated transactional love, and the deep love of the heart. Relation of a guru and shishya operates only at this 3rd level. That's the only layer where you and guru gets connected. There is no other layer. That's the only layer. Yeah. So because these are the matters of the heart, you have to operate from that, and your intelligence of the heart always guide you to the Satya. So this existence, this God, Shiva, has built that in you. Every human being has been fitted with that GPS system which guides you towards the path of Satya Ananda. Every human being has that system. You don't have to borrow that system from any guru or from any spiritual tradition. You have that. My only role is to A, point towards that. 2, help you just activate that, period. Once that is activated, my role is done. Then it's you and your Shiva, period. Yeah, so that's how this whole mechanics work, my friend. I hope it makes sense. Listen to this again and again. This is not any information that we are exchanging. Every word can act as a seed if you allow the seed to get sown at the right soil of your heart. Yeah? So you may and you must listen to it a few times to really imbibe the layers of it. Hope it will help. Thank you. Ji Swati.
Ji. Gurudev, our next question is from Gitanjali ji. And we have a similar question in the chat box from Shipra Patel ji. So I'm going to read both of them. Gitanjali ji is asking, when you witness that your kids have grown up and they just need you to fulfill their needs, especially where money is required, how do you take care of this? Sometimes it feels like I'm more of a requirement fulfiller than a parent. How can it be interpreted differently? How can I plan my time towards my spiritual journey? And Shipra ji is asking, how can one balance worldly responsibilities with spiritual growth?
I see smile on the faces of some friends here. It feels it's quite a pain point for most of us here. Yeah. Okay. You see, these satsangs are about truth. Truth in the most simplest form, not in a complicated way. So I will speak the truth. Most of the relationship that you have formed in this world, on this earth, are the relationships of needs, desires, and transactions. Three things I've said: needs, desires, and transactions. Most of the relationship, even with your kids, from kids side to parent side, most of the relationships, I'm saying, need, desire, transaction. Yes, there is little bit of love there. It's like a binding force. You know in your heart, as you ask the question, that you feel you are just a need fulfiller for them, especially financially. You know that in your heart. I told you, your heart knows the Satya. It's not a doubt. It's a Satya. It is a truth. We all need fulfillers to most of the relationship that we carry the burden of in our life. We are the need fulfillers. But it is a transactional in nature because, as I said, A, love is the binding force. B, they are also fulfilling some of your needs. The need for company, the need for future security, that when I grow old, my kids will take care of me. Need of company, I can't live alone. I need to have some people where I can say, I can feel, I love them. Sense of belonging. Human being has this very deep need to have this sense of belonging, to have some people they can call my people. You can't live alone in this life. That's how your brain is tuned, or the brain mechanics is formed. So yes, it's a need-based relationship. It's a desire, it's a transaction-based relationship, but it's from both sides. You cannot say that only your children need money from you. You must investigate in your heart, what is it that you need from them? There's something that you need. There's some need that they're fulfilling in you. Let's be very honest about it. Don't be one-sided, my friend. Be very honest. Both ways the needs are getting fulfilled. And the day your needs are not getting fulfilled, you'll start to feel very dissatisfied in that relationship. If only one side's needs are getting fulfilled, because it was a deal, it was a transaction. And that day you start to become little spiritual, because that day you start to see the reality of the world. That these guys whom I always thought called my own, my children, my parents, my family, whatever that is. So what is the job? What is the role that we have? And Shipra also asked a similar question, balancing the world of the matter responsibility and the spiritual pursuit. I'm coming to that. Number one, if these relations are transactional, what should we do? Because transaction is happening both sides. What should we do? Answer to that. All these relations that you formed around you, very humbly, very beautifully take that as an opportunity to serve. And when you take that as an opportunity to serve, you're not expecting anything in return. So what I'm saying, don't focus on their need from you. At least start to focus on your need from them and dissolve that. Be in the world of relationships, family, fulfill your responsibilities, because that's an oath you have taken. That's a dharma you have taken. If you're a mother, you're a father, you've taken a dharma to fulfill the family responsibilities. You've taken that oath. Please fulfill that. But in the bhav of not, what do I get in exchange? No, not that bhav. The bhav of, it's a service, it's a work of seva that has been given to me. I am performing that seva to the best of my ability. Number one. Number two, when you're performing this seva without expecting anything in return, you also activate your intelligence. We're all intelligent people. We're not Buddhas. So if there is somebody who's taking undue advantage of you in the name of relationship or whatever, then you know where to say, okay, enough of this. Especially in the case of children. In the name of that bonding that we call love, which is less of love and more of attachment. 2 words. It's less of love and more of attachment and insecurity that we operate from. So your job is to lower the attachment and insecurity and higher this purified love, even in your relationships, even in your relationships with your family. So seva is at the core of it. Then increasing, purifying this love aspect and dissolving this attachment and insecurity aspect. And how do you do that? How do you do that? Is when you do something for them, you're not expecting anything out of it. You cook for them, you don't expect anything in return. You cook because you love to cook for them. You take care of the house because you love to take care of the house. You go earn a living because you like to feed them, because you like to earn some money. But in all of this, always remember the key uddeshya, the key purpose of your existence that I talked about earlier. We are here not to form the new karmas. We are here to reap the results of the prarabdha karmas which have already opened up, and we are here to transcend this karmic cycle. That's why we are here, which is the spiritual process. So while you live in the world of family, you know your central uddeshya is to walk the path of Satya, Prem, Ananda. That's the central reason why you've taken this incarnation. You've not taken this incarnation to just fulfill the family obligations. That's just a dharma, sense of responsibility you've got, fulfill that. But that's not the key reason why you've taken this incarnation. So let the key reason be the central force of your life. Which means what? Which means you must take some time out for your own sadhana, your own practices, your own evolution. You must take some time out. You must take some resources out for your own sadhana, your own practices, your own evolution. You must not allow your whole life and your whole time and your whole energies to get sucked into this transactional stuff based on attachment and insecurity. Don't allow that. And every relation, close or far, okay, let me give you a term today, which you must start to practice. It will change you, change your perspective of life. It's a new term that I've coined. It's called Maitri Yoga, the yoga of deep friendship. Start to inculcate Maitri Yoga in every relationship that you have, with your children, with your spouse, with your parents, with your brothers, sisters, siblings, with unknown people on the street, with everybody you come in contact with. Start to act, practice, perform this Maitri Yoga, which is the base of every relation that I have is Maitri. Maitri means deep friendship. And deep friendship means I enjoy your company. Whatever I have to do, I do in the bhav of seva. I'm not expecting anything in return. I'm not expecting from my children to take care of me when I'm not able to take care of myself. Shiva will make some provision. I know that. I'm not investing in my children for my future security. Don't do that, because that's a corrupted bhav. Investigate if every action that you're doing in your family with your people around is from attachment and insecurity or from the pure Maitri bhava. I'm doing all of this because you are my dear friend. I love to do this for you. I'm doing this satsang, spending this time and effort and energy with all of you because you're my dear friends. I love doing this with you. I love sharing this with you. I know it helps you. I know it helps me. There is no transaction. I don't expect anything in return from you. You don't show up next time, your karma. You do something in return, your karma. You feel awakening in your heart, your karma. You feel bored, your karma. You follow? That's the bhav I am operating from 24/7, and I'm conducting this satsang based on the same bhav. I've practiced this over and over again. I've practiced this in every relationship. And once you start to do that, two amazing things happen. Once you start to practice this Maitri Bhav, two amazing things happen. One, your relationship, the love that I talked about, start to become purified love. The love of devotion, the bhakti love, it starts to become. It starts to become very bhakti oriented with any relationship. And two, the insecurity and the attachment. You don't have to go and shoot them. They die their own death. They just dissolve. No effort is needed. I'm sharing a very secret path with you. The path of Maitri Yoga. Yoga is join. When two things join, Maitri is dosti, friendship. Deep bhav of I want your well-being. I pray for your well-being. Deep bhav of that. I don't need anything in return. Please start to practice this. Please start to practice this Maitri Yoga with your own self also. Don't be too hard on yourself. You must become your best friend. Enjoy your company the most. Write notes to yourself, love letters to yourself. And then you will start to see this Maitri Yoga will blossom in your heart. Now you will not hold any relationship. Now you will not hold any grudges in any relationship. And now you will also not allow your own self to be misused or taken advantage of in any relationship, even by your children, even for the financial needs that they might have. You will not allow anybody to take advantage of you. Yeah? This level of, see, once you start to operate from this level of purity, even saying no becomes very authentic, not forceful. That no, saying no also comes from a very deep, authentic space. Yeah? So, Maitri Yoga is the solution to balance the world of matter, responsibility, and to awaken and initiate and activate the path of spiritual awakening. Maitri Yoga is the bridge between the spiritual awakening that awaits you and the karmas of the world that you've taken on yourself to perform those karmas. This Maitri Yoga is a bridge between both these two seemingly different worlds. Maitri Yoga is the bridge. And once you live this Maitri Yoga with your loved ones, with your relations, you will start to see with your Guru, with Shiva also, you will have the same bhav of Maitri. Now Shiva will become your dearest friend. You'll talk to him. You'll talk to Adi Shakti. You will talk to them. They will in return talk to you. This whole world vibrates on Maitri. Maitri is the energy which keeps the atoms together. Electron, proton, neutron. Maitri is the force which keeps all of them together, nothing else. Our problem is we want to be together, but we don't know what's the glue. What's the force which will keep us together in our love affairs, in our relationships, without getting hurt. What's that force that will keep us together? Is Maitri, my friends. Activate that. and your heart is the source of that. You're filled with that Maitri in your heart. It's just that it's little unpurified right now. You must purify that. Every breath that you take, pray to the Shiva. Purify this Maitri. Activate this. That's how I want to relate with every kana, every atom of this world. Then see the magic unfolding. This, my friends, is the most simplest way to attain love, peace, joy, and satya that we talk about. The most easiest way to attain to that. I hope it helps. I hope it makes sense.